Welcome back to Fly King Drone. Today we're going to take a look and see if the Bugs 1620 could be used potentially in a business, inspecting roofs and gutters and various penetrations in the roof for leaks. What I did find in shooting some of this test footage, and this has shown up in other footage that I've done, the drone does have a little bit of trouble hovering completely motionless. Today there's very little wind, and I had 15 GPS satellites locked in, but it still moved, a half a meter, 1 to 3 feet left and right, back and forwards as it was hovering. So it does not, hover perfectly still. You do have a good ability to turn the camera almost completely vertical down, which notice here does help on the contrast of the shingles, allows you to look directly down into the gutters. But it isn't really holding as still as I would like. It is still pretty good. These images are pretty sharp. As you move around, you would be able to see if the shingles were curling, or certainly if there were any outright missing, or if there had been any damage to the roof from hail or tree branches. The other thing I noticed in shooting this, since you have no manual control over focus, if too much of the picture is not the roof, so in this case 3/4 of it is the ground is much more in focus than the roof. So you would need to really pay attention on your screen as to how much of the roof or how much of the gutter is filling the screen. So you can notice here as I zoomed up, the plants are significantly sharper than the edge there of the gutter with the screens on it and the actual texture of the shingles. So the plants are definitely much sharper and getting the attention of the focusing. Now here I moved over and I did zoom this up in post. So this is not zoomed via the drone. And if you do have a higher percentage of the screen being the roof, you can see that the satellite and the roof penetrations do appear to be in better focus. And again, if you're able to get 100% of the picture or what's covered by the camera to be what you're shooting for, the roof penetrations, chimneys, etc., the picture will be sharper. Now coming up, I noticed by taking a look at one of the roof penetrations that was it's actually a radon stack there on the left. If you again have too much of the picture is the background and not the object that you're looking at, you will have some trouble having that picture being sharp. However, I zoomed it up, and when you do zoom in, this is in post I'm zooming, you would still be able to see how the focus is. The other problem when you're doing inspections, of course, is going to be trees. And if they're nearby, they're going to block the satellites and you're going to have a crash problem. Now, as I was doing my test, and I could see this even on my iPhone, which I was using for my monitor for this shot, boy, the truck was in significantly sharper focus than the roof. So I don't know if it has to do with kind of the images. Here I zoomed in on it, and it still was much sharper than what I had seen on the roof, even when I had the roof as the majority of the image. So I'm kind of torn. This drone is pretty good. In this shot here, I'm looking at these marks that are at the ridge vent of the roof itself, and here I took a still photo, so use the photo shoot option, and then this is just zooming in with the photo in post. Not as sharp as a picture as I would like. The autofocus is definitely holding you back on how much you can zoom in on when you take a picture. So ultimately, can this $300 or $250 drone allow you to start a business doing some inspections. You know, you probably could get a reasonably good view of the shutter, just shingles, and see if there's some things you need to get at. But again, if you got trees surrounding things, you're not going to be able to get a good view of the gutter. And again, as you've seen in previous videos, this tree has eaten my drone twice. So you're going to be somewhat limited in what you can do with this drone. You can get some pretty good pictures to see if you're missing shingles, see if they're curling, see if there's, you know, major obvious problems with the roof. But you know, a drone with a better camera might be better once your business takes off. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, and please subscribe.